Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for holding and welcome to Associados conference call with the theme Argentina and Brazil, recent trends in economic policy and scenarios. We will have the participation of Dr. Alejandro Caterberg, one of the leading political and public opinion analysts in Argentina. We would like to inform that all participants will be in listen-only mode during the company's presentation. After the company's remarks are completed, there will be a question and answer section when further instructions will be given. Should any participant need assistance during this call, please press star zero to reach the operator. Now, I would like to turn the floor over to Dr. Gesner Oliveira. Please, Mr. Gesner, you may proceed.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for your attention. We today have the pleasure to have with us Mr. Alejandro Ketterberg, who is one of the leading political and public opinion analysts in Argentina. He can help us very much to understand what is happening in Argentina. He is the president and co-founder of Poliarquia Consultores, a leading consulting and public opinion firm in Argentina. We are very happy to have Alejandro with us, and I turn the floor immediately to Alejandro so that we can take the advantage to listen to him, and after that we have a Q&A session. Mr. Alejandro.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling and inviting me to this conversation. Let me give you a 20-25 minutes overview about what is going on in Argentina, and then, as you said, we can open for some Q&A. Let me start with this. This over the last year, exactly a year ago, Macri government had an impressive victory in the midterm elections. On October 2017, Macri coalition, Cambiemos, got 42% of the votes at the national level, won in most or the majority of the Argentinian states, and basically got the best midterm election for a government over the last 20 years or more in Argentina. So just after that, the consensus was that Macri was working on the path for re-election, and possible a re-election in the first round. Let me here just open a parenthesis to explain very briefly Argentinian elections law. In order to win in the first round in Argentina, you don't need to get 50% of the votes, you need to get 45% of the votes. Or if you get something between 40 to 45% of the votes and a difference of more than 10 points with the second, who finished second, you also win the election. As I was saying, the consensus was just a year ago that Macri was going to be re-elected and very possible in the first round, because the economy was starting to finally improve, and basically the Peronists remained divided and totally fragmented. The picture nowadays, only 12 months later, is quite different. This has been a very intense and negative year for Argentinian economy and politics. Basically, on May, April, we have a very sharp devaluation, as you may know, triggered by a combination of different facts, a little bit of bad luck coming from Argentina. Basically, the government Argentina faced the worst draw from the agriculture sector in the last 50 years, so that cost almost $7 billion in exports. In top of that, you have a change in the mood against emerging markets, and the Federal Reserve starting to increase the interest rates, but also Macri government had a quite negative response or a bad management over the crisis, and accelerate the deterioration of the conflict crisis that started. So the FX crisis that Argentina had basically started to change a few things around here. Macri popularity that was very high, over 55% after the election last year, start to drop. The general mood and the public opinion started to go down. The idea that we were saying before that Macri was going to be easily reelected in next year also started to change. So the opposition party and the opposition candidates start to feel that they had an option to return to power next year. And basically, of course, the economy started to show a new increase in inflation, and the starting of an important recession. So that was the picture of Argentina in the first semester. Argentina Central Bank, or the president of the Central Bank, was removed. Then a few weeks ago, the replacement of that president was also removed. So far this year we had three presidents of the Central Bank. And then suddenly we have two more big events in Argentina that happened during August and September. The first event was what is being called the Cuadernos scandal, and has also been said that the potential Argentinian lavallato. I don't know how many of you heard about or knew the details about, but basically it was the revelations that about all of the corruption and network corruption that was held during the Gesner years, but this time with a very clear evidence and proofs that started an investigation in which the new thing was that for the first time we have the ley of arrepentido here, so many people accept that they were part of this corruption scandal in order to receive a reduced sentence. And the other thing that was new about this case in Argentina is not only that we have the arrepentido law, but also we have the business guys, business leaders being put in jail. So for the first time, the private sector admitted that they were paying bribes to the Gesners, and they were revealing all of the network and the system of how this happened. Many people thought that Cuadernos was going to take down Cristina, or was going to affect Cristina Kirchner severely, and that did not happen. And I will talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. And the other big thing that we have in Argentina during August, the end of August and the beginning of September, we have basically a new big devaluation of the peso that instead of happening during a period of 2 months, like what happened in the first semester of the year, only happened in 48 hours. And that basically happened when President Macri went public on a recorded video that lasts only 90 seconds and announced that the Argentine government has reached a new agreement with the IMF, and that the IMF was willing to give more money in anticipation to the Argentinian government that what the program that the Argentina has signed in the first semester of the year said. So basically, Macri tried to say that in order to regain some confidence from the market, but the thing was that he said that the agreement was done and the agreement did not already start. So the market find out about that very quickly, and in 48 hours we have almost 25 devaluation of the peso. So that triggered a political crisis. So basically, I can assume that during the first 8 months of this year, Argentina had an FX crisis or a confidence crisis from the markets. Then suddenly, in 24 hours or in 48 hours, that confidence crisis became a political crisis. And that was only a month and a half ago. The government was pushed to make or to have all of the international support that they may have, especially from the White House, in order to basically push the IMF to give all of the demands or the needs that Argentinian government were asking for. And after 3 weeks of very intense economic and political negotiations, finally Argentina and the IMF agree and reach a second agreement for this year. And with that agreement that happened a few weeks ago, that has already not been approved by the board of members of the IMF, but is going to be approved probably this week or next week, the markets basically come down and they stop running against the peso. In the middle of all that, as you may imagine, the public opinion support for the government and the public opinion trends regarding how the country is doing, economic expectations, inflation expectations, economic personal situation, all of the social and economic indicators that we measure regularly on our surveys deteriorate significantly. And also the government support is deteriorating over the last few months. Saying this, the picture should look quite negative for the government. Basically, what I'm saying is that Argentina is going through a recession that is going to be around 2.5 of GDP this year. Next year, in the best case scenario, Argentina growth will be zero, with possible negative growth during the first semester of next year and some positive growth during the second semester of next year. But basically, we are going to have 2 recession years in a row. This year, inflation is going to be around 45%, and real salaries are going to be down between 10 to 50% this year. So, if you look at this picture, many people may think, well, Macri government will not have any chance to win next year election. And that could be a reasonable way of thinking, and that could be the case in many countries. But the tricky thing is that I do still believe that Macri coalition, Cambiemos, is still the favorite to win next year election. So in the next 10 minutes, I will try to explain how it's possible to have these two things at the same time. How is possible that with this level of inflation and with this level of economic recession and with this level of public opinion support or public opinion mood regarding the economic situation of the country, still Macri party, Cambiemos, is the favorite to win the election next year. And to understand that, you have to understand a little bit of Argentinian politics and how it's organized. Luckily, you are in Brazil and the experience that you recently have, in many sense, are quite similar to what happened in Argentina over the last few years. So it's not as hard for you to understand as for people from other countries. Basically, Argentina society is quite divided in three groups. The first group on the left are basically the followers of Cristina Kirchner. And are people who are not only followers of Cristina Kirchner, but are people who believe in a big state, in a state that not only should distribute wealth, but should create wealth, a state that should take care of all of the necessities of the citizens. These people distrust the public, the private sector. These people distrust capitalism. These people distrust the foreigners. These people doesn't like Argentina to get closer to the Western countries, etc., etc., etc. People who could be similar to the level of people who support PT in Brazil. And that represents in Argentina around 25-30% of Argentinian people. Okay? Most of these people are lower income people who have benefited a lot during the Kirchner years because they receive subsidies or free pension, or because they were also able to find a job or improve the quality of life because of all of the programs and measurements and some of the populist measures that the Kirchner did during the last decade. But some of the people that still support Cristina Kirchner are middle-income people who support them for a big set of ideological reasons. People who talk against imperialism and all of the rhetoric of the 21st century socialism that we have in Latin America during the Chavez, Lula, and Kirchner years. So we have a combination of those sectors among that 25-30% of Argentinian people who still support Cristina Kirchner. And these people totally reject Macri, as you may imagine. They believe Macri is just a rich business leader who runs the policies in order to favor only the rich sector of the society and who doesn't know or is out of touch with the necessities of the poor and the real people. Okay? So that's 25-30% of Argentine population. On the other extreme, we have a group of around 35%, a little bit bigger than the first group, that is basically the traditional anti-Peronist sector of Argentinian society. And these people are not only anti-Peronist, but they also hate, they totally hate Cristina Kirchner, okay? This sector tends to be more middle class, upper middle class, people who live in the big cities of the country, and their agenda and their demands are totally different from the other people that I just described. This anti-Peronist sector of Argentine society, basically, they are much more pro-market, pro-capitalism. They want to integrate political and economy to the world. They don't think the state should be responsible to give everything that the people need. And basically, they reject populism and populist leaders, authoritarian leaders, and they very highly demand transparency, fight against corruption, respect for law, institutions, etc., etc. Those are the demands of that 35% of Argentinian society, and that people is the base core support of Macri and Macri government, and it's very important for Macri to be able to keep having these people, okay? And and the mood for these people when the Cuadernos scandal started, and many people in Argentina said, well, be careful because look what happened in Brazil and the economic effects of Lavallato. So if we have that economic effect in Argentina, that will cost a lot, even more in a recession year as this year. And the mood among these 35% of Argentinian people was, we don't care if this is going to have an economic impact. Finally, we're going to seek justice in Argentina and all of the corrupt leaders being put in jail. So for these people, fighting against corruption is even more important than the state of the government. Okay? Among these two groups, we have around 40% of Argentine population who basically they don't care about politics, they don't care about politicians, they don't read news, they are not very actively involved in politics. The majority of these people is working class people, lower income people, who basically are very concerned about a different set of things. They are very concerned about how the economy is doing, but basically their personal economic situation, and they are very concerned about crime, okay? Among those people in the middle, is where some moderate feminist candidates try to get the votes. But basically, these people nowadays, because of the recession, because of the high inflation, and because all of the corruption scandals, these people nowadays is basically fully against all of the politicians and all of the political class. Okay? A lot of people have started to ask questions if in Argentina we can see someone like Bolsonaro happening, so an extreme outsider with a very aggressive speech. And if you only look at the people in the middle that I was just describing, that could be the case. Because basically these people, these lower income people that are not interested in politics and they don't have a clear ideology as the other two groups I described before had. So these people basically nowadays they are very angry. Okay? They're very angry, as I said before, with the political class, they're very concerned about economic conditions, etc., etc., etc. The problem is not the problem. The case is that I don't think an outsider could emerge in Argentina in the next few months before the election, because basically we still have this very strong dynamics between the Kirchner side and the anti-Kirchner side going on. So basically, more than 60% of Argentine population is still very closely identified with a leadership. Half of that, or a little bit of half of that, is identified with Cristina Kirchner, and the other half, or a little bit more than half, is identified with Cambiemos and are fully anti-Cristina. Okay? So, the main challenge for Macri in the coming months is to be able to keep the support of that 35% of anti-Peronist, anti-Cristina sector of the society. In order to do that, basically Macri needs two or three things. First is to stop the internal conflicts within the coalition, because some members of Macri coalition have started fighting each other and starting to accuse members of the government of not being fully committed in their fight against corruption. So that could be a very important setback for Macri if that doesn't stop. Okay? In the last few weeks, that has been under control, and I do not expect to see a break apart of the Macri coalition. So, but again, that's the first thing that Macri needs to get from here to the beginning of next year. That the coalition that Macri has remain together. And the second thing is basically to have some calm and stability in the FX, in the peso. And if that happens, inflation is going to start to go down. So what I'm trying to say is that in order to have the support of this 35% of the Argentinian society, Macri doesn't need a strong economic recovery. Macri just needs to have the coalition all together and just to have a minimum stability in the currency and the prices started, or inflation started to be reduced. With that, these people's rejection against Cristina is good enough to keep voting for Macri. Okay? So, the other important thing that will happen in Argentina is if Cristina Kirchner will be or not the candidate next year. Because if Cristina Kirchner is not the candidate next year, and she doesn't run for president, then a moderate Peronist will have the chance to get to the second round. And if a moderate Peronist has the chance to get to the second round, then the chance to win that second round is quite significant. Why is this? Because basically, all of the people that I described in the first group, all of the lefty sector people of the Argentinian society, all of the pro-Kirchner, pro-left policies, if they are forced to choose between voting for a moderate Peronist or voting for Macri again, the vast majority of them will prefer to vote for the moderate Peronist. That will be the same case as you saw in Brazil recently. If for some reason some of the middle ground candidates were able to go to the second round, the chances to defeat Haddad or Bolsonaro were quite significant. But the problem for those guys was to block the polarization that happened between Haddad and Bolsonaro and to be able to get in the second round. The same thing is going on in Argentina. If for some reason a moderate Peronist is able to get into the second round, the chances of winning the election could be quite significant. But the big challenge for the moderate Peronist is how to block the polarization that we have among the two extremes. And in this case, in Argentina, one of the extremes is represented by the more pro-market center-right policies of the Macri administration, and the other extreme is represented by Cristina Kirchner. So, to conclude what I was trying to explain, the differences or the discrepancy of how it's possible that even in such a negative economic environment, and even with this level of public opinion mood regarding the economy and the social conditions of the country, Macri is able to still win. The key answer for that is because 35% of Argentine population will basically vote not based on how the economy is doing, but basically will vote based on their ideology and their political view, and that is total rejection against the Kirchner. And if Macri is able to get that 35% of the votes, he will be in the second round. And if he goes to a second round against Cristina Kirchner, then in a very polarized environment, he will have a very, very good chance to defeat the Kirchner or Cristina Kirchner. So, again, if first condition, the economy is stabilized and the value of the peso stopped devaluating as we have seen this year, And if that happens, inflation starts to reduce from the 35% that we're going to have to, I don't know, something about 25 or 25. But basically, a much smaller inflation next year than what we have seen this year. And if the economy starts to grow in the second semester of next year, as many analysts are saying that that will happen, well, that will be enough for Macri government to get 35 or more percent of the votes. That will be enough for Macri to win the second round. And again, if in the second round, the option that Argentinian society had is continue with Macri and Cambiemos, or going back with Cristina Kirchner, the chances of Macri of winning next year election are still quite significant. That's more or less the general view of Argentina. Then we can talk about some other aspects or some other issues, but I leave it for the Q&A session. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Alejandro, for this very insightful presentation. And to tell you the truth, I was surprised when you said that it was Macri's chances in next election are still high, even with the very difficult economic situation. But your arguments are very interesting. And I'll just make a question to begin this debate. There are other questions. In this context, I think you explained to us the conditions that have to hold in order to make it possible for Macri to win the next election. But in this context, do you think it's possible to continue the economic reforms that Macri had in mind in the beginning of the government? What are the chances of profound economic reforms in Argentina involving labor reform and other aspects of the economic structure?
Well, of course, as you may expect, nothing of that will happen from here to next year election. Basically, the Argentinian Congress is still dominated by the Peronistas, at least the Senate, and in the House, Macri has the first minority, but he doesn't have the majority. So next year elections will be quite important in order for Macri to finally be able to try to get a majority in the House. It will be impossible for Macri, even if he wins the election, to have a majority in the Senate. So the negotiations with the Peronistas will have to remain. And that will make the reforms, the structural reforms, to go at a very slow motion path. Remember that Macri is something quite strange in Argentina. Argentina politics has been dominated by the Peronist Party, and still the Peronist Party dominates the majority of the unions. Still they dominate the Congress. Still they have 18 governors out of the 24 governors in Argentina. So it will take many years of a non-Peronist government to start changing that balance of power. The thing is that the Peronist Party has been divided for many years now. And the main reason for that division is Cristina Kirchner. There is a sector of the Peronist Party who still support Cristina, some of them for ideological reasons and some of them for practical reasons, because Cristina still is the Peronist with the most votes, and many of these guys, they just want to maintain their seat in the Senate or in the province or still be a mayor. So they need to make political agreements with Cristina, even though they do not agree with Cristina ideology. And the other half of the Peronist Party is totally against Cristina, and most of them will never be able to come back with her. So the key for Macri will be, as it was in the first 2 years of his administration, to make deals with what is called here in Argentina the moderate Peronism. The Peronists that will never go back with Cristina. So if Macri is able to win again next year, then he will have to make deals again with the moderate Peronists in order to keep moving with the reform. But again, structural reforms in Argentina will have to happen at a slow motion. I do not expect, even if Macri is able to win again next year, to have huge reforms, especially in two sectors, the labor, because the power of the unions are very significant in Argentina, and second, the pensions. That is basically the main fiscal problem of Argentina. So I can imagine small reforms, many little reforms, as what Macri has done during the first 2 or 3 years of his administration, especially the first 2 years, because this year has been dominated by the economic crisis. But I do not expect huge transformations from one day to another.
Hi, Alejandro. I had a question regarding the Argentinian peso and what are the expectations for the upcoming year? Do you expect there to be a lot of volatility heading up to the elections, or do you expect it to be evening out?
Well, I'm not an economic analyst, even though my background is in economics. But I could give you a political part of that answer. Of course, a big part of that will have to do with the markets, with the volatility of the market, with how good or bad the new economic program is responding. But a big part of that will have to do with the volatility and the uncertainty that Cristina Kirchner will present if she decides to run. And I think that she will run. That's my view. I think Cristina Kirchner will run as a president next year. So that could create a lot of uncertainty, and that could push a lot of pressure in the peso, because the vast majority of Argentine society, especially the ones who have wealth, I mean, upper middle class and upper middle class, who massively reject Cristina Kirchner, you're going to see a lot of capital outflows from that people, because that people will say, I will never vote for Cristina, I will fully support Macri, but I will want my dollars on a safe deposit, because if Cristina comes back, she will implement capital controls on day one. So the Cristina being a candidate, and Cristina, depending on how well or bad she performs on the surveys, that will create some extra volatility to the value of Argentinian peso.
Okay, Alejandro, there is a question here coming from YouTube. The question is, what are the chances of approval of the target of zero deficit? Apparently, this is going to be voted in the assembly this week. Is that? I'm not sure whether that's accurate or not. Do you have any insight on that?
Yes, sure. The budget, the 2019 budget that has the fiscal deficit target of being zero, has been debate on the committee yesterday, and the government will try to approve it on the House today. The expectation is we'll finally be able to approve it, but this is going to happen maybe today or next week in the House and a few weeks later in the Senate. But the main consensus is that after very tough negotiations that the government had over the last 2 months with especially the moderate Peronists, especially among them the moderate governors of the Peronists, they want to be able to get it. So I would say there is a 90% probability that the government will get that budget. And so far, the numbers that the finance minister showed this week regarding the reduction of the fiscal deficit, Argentina is overachieving the target. So the level of fiscal reduction that we are seeing this year in Argentina is quite severe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's another question here coming this time from someone watching us on Facebook. What would be the probability of Cristina Kirchner becoming a candidate for the next election? You told us that this is a key variable, whether she runs or not. Is there a high probability that she runs? And what about the what you called moderate Peronist candidate? Would you guide us to likely candidates on the Peronist camp?
Okay, first of